We look at positivity rates because it's just not the number of positive tests. It's out of all tests submitted. And I'm guessing now that most of us know several people in our circles that have been infected. And if I were to have asked you 3 months ago, do you know anyone who's infected? You may not have. But now you may know it in your workplaces. It might be in the school environment. It might be in your social circles. It's obviously 1 out of 10. So if you were to look around, 1 out of 10. So how did our enforcement go, recognizing that this went into effect Saturday? So remember, we're complaint-based. So we have our policies and procedures up on site. So complaints were received on the following establishments: Baking Grounds in McChesney Park, Casey's Pub in Loves Park, City Buffet in Rockford, Filling Station in Rockford, Fozzie's in Rockford, Francesco's in Rockford, Fear Fest in South Beloit, Giovanni's in Rockford, the Golden Corral in Loves Park, Green Fire in Rockford, Irish Rose in Rockford, Jessica's Family Restaurant in Roscoe, JJ Deli in Rockford, Lima Mar in Rockford, Mark's Fusion Cafe in Rockford, Mustang's Bar and Grill in South Beloit, My Place Bar and Grill in Rockford, Neighbors Bar and Grill in Loves Park, North Main Bar in Rockford, Nora's Bar and Grill in South Beloit, Omakase in Rockford, Ref's Bar and Grill in Durand, Scanlon's Bar and Grill in Rockford, Savoy Lounge in Rockford, Sophia's in Roscoe, The Detour in Loves Park, Tony's of Winnebago in Winnebago, Town Hall in Loves Park, Taco Betty's in Rockford, Vintage 501 in Rockford. And while that list seems very extensive and very long, there are over 1,300 permitted establishments in Winnebago County. So I applaud the group that has really worked hard. And I actually have a correction. They were kind of signaling to me 1,500 permitted establishments. So when you come down to it, the majority did what they needed to do. So today the inspectors are out working on the complaints. Remember, we adapted and changed our policy with our food groups and said first visit, we're going to review the executive order and validate the complaint. Remember, some of them may have had outdoor dining. Someone may have again pulled it on there. If the complaint's validated, we will do a second visit for a notice of noncompliance. A third visit will be notice to disperse. And basically that means that we will then look at revocation of the food establishment permit, liquor licenses, and gaming licenses. And it may progress to a closure order. I really want to remind everyone this is an equity consideration and concern for our community. We have many establishments that followed the executive order, recognizing the difficulty that that was going to pose for them, but understanding that they were part of a larger community and need to help us get that infection rate low. Groups that continue to have those large gatherings, shoulder to shoulder, person to person, face coverings off, you're contributing to an overall increased infection in the community. And you're right, I won't be able to identify one particular establishment, but I know the behavior that's common to all. Businesses that remain open, I want you to consider what that means to both our lives and our livelihood. Businesses that comply with the executive order have been put at a disadvantage. They lost revenue, they lost business over the weekend. Many of them had very little time to plan for product and changes, and many of their staffs were impacted as well. But I'm also going to call again, as I've said before, we all have an equal part to play. The public has to do their part. You have to understand and know the restrictions set by the executive rule. So don't go into a restaurant expecting to be seated indoors. You should be seated out of doors. Support food establishment bars that are doing the right thing. Dine outside. Take carry-out or curbside pickup. Buy gift cards from them. Keep them in business because they are doing everything they can to protect our public.